Hey guys, hope you're having a good day. It is actually my break of my job. I work from home, so I'm taking my break to go ahead and make up my casserole that I will have for lunch and we will use for our lunches throughout the week. So I wanted to kind of show you guys what I'm going to make. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you down. All right. Whew. All right, so here we go. This is my casserole pan, and as you can tell, it's a larger size casserole pan. You're going to need a bigger casserole pan for this recipe. Now, what you'll want to do is either butter this, or I'm going to actually use one of my crock pot liners, because the crock pot liners I get are actually they're oven proof to 400 and some degrees. So I'm going to just use this to make cleanup easier. The first time I made it, it was like trying to get concrete out of here. So I'm going to do this just to make it easier on me to clean it up. So I will put a link down below to these, to my liners that I use so that you guys can see. So what I'm going to do to make this casserole is I've got this big bowl here. And I have 3 pounds of ground beef. I got one of those big 20-pound chubs of ground beef from Walmart last week, and I cut it up into portion sizes and I froze them until I was ready to use them. So this is one, and these are about 1.5 pounds each. So what you're going to want is about 3 pounds of ground beef for this recipe. Like I said, it is going to make a lot, but it's really simple, and it makes, it makes your work week much easier. And yeah, you know me, I cook with my hands. I've already washed them, so they're nice and clean. All right, so what I did is I kind of set this out for maybe 30 minutes or so that it gets a little warmed up. And so it'll be easier for me to mix it. The next thing I'm going to take is eggs. And I am going to use actually an entire dozen eggs. Yeah, when I first heard this recipe, I was like, whoa. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and put my own spin on this recipe. But we're just going to go ahead and crack all of these into here. And yeah, so like I said, I work from home, so I am going to make this now on my break, and I will cook it at 375 degrees for about an hour. The first time I made it, I cooked it for about 45 minutes, and personally for me, the texture was just a little too loose, so I'm going to cook it a little bit longer and see if that changes the texture enough that it's not so loose tasting. I am doing a great job of cracking these today, aren't I? It's probably because I want to get this done quick for you guys and show you how easy it is. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and whisk these together until they're well whisked. All right, and then I'm going to, I want to season this. The first time I did it, I did salt and a little bit of fennel seed. This time I'm actually going to make it taco flavored. So this is 3 portions of my taco seasoning that I make, and I'm actually going to add it to the eggs. I think it'll help when I mix everything together to just have those spices already mixed into the eggs so that we can make sure that they get mixed through all the way. But you know, I could be wrong because it's it has been a Monday, guys. I started out my day running around like a mad woman with my head cut off, and work hasn't stopped since I got in. So now all we're gonna do, we're just gonna take the eggs and spices, and we're going to dump them over the meat. And this is where you can, you know, choose how you want to do this next part. For me, you know, I am a hands-on kind of person, so I'm just going to go ahead and smush this and mush it and get it all incorporated. It doesn't take long. It might take a minute or so, but what I'm doing is I'm really squishing it through my my fingers. I spread them out a little bit, and I'm really trying to mush the meat into the eggs into the meat to get it well incorporated. You could use a spoon, you could use a mixer with a paddle on it, and or whatever. This is just what seems to work for me. Kind of like meatloaf, how you're gonna mix in meatloaf. It's kind of the same thought for me, so that's why I just use my hand. All right, and it looks like it's really getting incorporated in. So what I'm gonna do now is just make sure it's all well incorporated, and it looks pretty darn good. So now I'm gonna bring my casserole back over here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dump this in. And I'm gonna just, you know, get it all into all the corners. And then the last thing I'm gonna do, which I forgot to bring over here, is I'm gonna top it with cheese. And the cheese is going to be to your desired. So if you don't wanna do any cheese at all, you don't have to. You can just do this and be done with it. If you want a lot of cheese, you can put a lot of cheese on here. If you want a little cheese, you can put a little cheese on here. But the cheese is going to be up to you. So I will do that off camera because I forgot to bring it over. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will put this into my oven. Like I said, it's at 375, and I'm going to cook it for 60 minutes. And I'm going to pull it out and let it cool for a little bit before I cut it. So when it's all done and it's all cooled, I will bring you back and show you the result. Hey guys, I'm back and my casserole is done, so I wanted to show you what it turned out like. All right, here's the casserole. There we go. And like I said, this is a really nice big casserole, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it for you. This is gonna make, for a carnivore diet, this is gonna make 8 slices. And actually, it could actually be more than that if, you know, or you could make bigger slices than that if you wanted to. For a ketogenic diet, this is still going to have really great macros. So you're going to want to make this, but you can add vegetables in here, or you can add in some, a salad on the side, or some loaded veggies on the side, or something like that. But let's see how it worked with my... All right. So you're going to know that it's done when you stick a knife in, and it feels like it's done. So here's the recipe. I'm going to take a quick bite of it. Perfect. That does have a lot of flavor, a lot of taco flavor to it. So I'm really going to enjoy it. Like I said, this has got some really great macros, no matter if you're eating keto or carnivore. When I made it last week, I think a piece that size is about 6 to 8 ounces of beef, and then the eggs and the cheese, and it figured out to like around 74 grams of fat and 48 grams of protein, and you know, just 1 or 2 carbs. So it's got a good fat to protein ratio, and so that's what's going to keep you fuller longer and more satisfied longer, as well for both carnivore and keto. Now I'll definitely have 1 slice of this. I might have one of the smaller slices as well, just to make sure that I'm getting enough food. But I hope you liked this recipe, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.